Dear students, welcome to the English second paper class brought to you by Amar Ghore Amar school. I know that many of you are missing school for a long time because due to pandemic the schools have been closed down. But there's nothing to worry as Amar Ghore Amar school has brought your classroom to your home through Sanshad Bangladesh television. So let's begin today's class. The topic that we are going to learn today is narration. You must remember that in the previous class, I have shown you some rules and some basic changes that happen from direct to indirect speech. And today we are going to look at closer look to the rules to change direct speech from indirect speech in case of assertive sentence. So students, what can you see in these two pictures? In the first picture, we can see that a person, he is lying down and he is saying, I am feeling ill. On the other hand, in the second picture, there is another person who's talking over phone and he is saying, Paul said that he was feeling ill. So what can you guess from these two pictures? What might be the topic of today's class? Yes, you have guessed it right. Today we are going to look at speech change or narration. You may find this lesson at Unit 13 in Lesson 1 in your prescribed book. So, there are two ways to report what a person says, in indirect speech and in direct speech. Today, we are going to have a closer look to change the rules from direct to indirect speech. What are the learning outcomes of today's class? Let's have a look. After today's class, you will be able to understand the rules to change direct speech into indirect speech in case of assertive sentences. So, the rules that can be applied in case of from direct to indirect speech can be categorized in three ways. What are they? The first rule is change of tense. I know that in previous classes you have already learned some structures and different uses of different tenses. We are going to apply them in this case now. If the reporting verb in the direct speech is in present tense or future tense, then it remains same. In indirect speech, that means there will be no change. So as you can see in the example, my friend says he is very handsome. So, says is the reporting verb here and says, as you can see, it's in present simple tense. What you have to remember is if the reporting verb is in present tense or in future tense, then there is not going to be any change within the tense of reported speech. For example, the answer of this one is given as my friend says that he is very handsome. As you can see here, my friend says that he is very handsome. He is. It remains same. It has not been changed into past tense. What is the reason? I have already mentioned that if the reporting verb is in present tense, then you are not going to change the tense of the reported speech. For example, my granny will say, you need to eat well. My granny will say, you need to eat well. As you can see, will say, it's in future tense. For that reason, will say and you need, this part has remained unchanged. As the answer is given, my granny will say that you need to eat well. So students, remember the first rule very well. If you see that the reporting verb is in present tense as in says, will say, then you are not going to change the tense of the reported speech. Now what happens if the reporting verb is in past tense? If the reporting verb is in past tense, there are some rules, there are some changes that you have to follow. What are they? As you can see, if the reporting verb is in past tense in the direct speech statement, then the verbs within the inverted comma is going to be changed as follows. For example, in case of am or is, it's going to be changed as was. In case of are, it will be changed as were. If you have do or does, it will be changed into did. If you have or has, it's going to be changed into had. So in a way, I can easily see that all the tense that were in present have been changed into past. And in case of will, that means in future tense, it will be changed into would. Now, many of you may make mistakes in this case. I have seen many students writing should in this case. For example, you have to remember that will, should are completely different. So, if you have will in direct speech, it will be changed into would. And in case of can, we may change it into could. Now, there is a short description here how we can change from direct speech to indirect speech. To be very clear, as you can see, in case of present indefinite, the tense will be changed into past indefinite. For example, Mira said, I go to school. As you can see, the reporting verb here is said, which means that we have to change the tense that is given in the inverted comma. For that reason, we have said, Mira said that she went to school. As you can see, go has been changed into went here. That means present indefinite tense has been changed into past indefinite tense. Now look at the second one. In case of past indefinite, what are we going to do? If you have past indefinite tense, change it into past perfect. For example, they said we went at work. They said we went at work. So, we went, it's in past simple. And in indirect speech, it has been changed into they had gone. That means it's been changed into past perfect. So, in direct speech, if you have past indefinite tense within the inverted comma, you are going to change it into past perfect. Now, let us look at this one. What is going to happen in case of continuous tense? In case of present continuous tense, it's going to be changed into past continuous. For example, Mira said, I am going to school. Here, I am going to school. Be verb, then we have used verb plus ing. So, it's very clear that the tense that have been used here is present continuous. How it's going to be changed into indirect speech? It's going to be changed into Mira said that she was going to school. So, easily we can see that we have used she, we have used was going. That means it's in past continuous tense. Now, the third one. In case of present perfect, we are going to change it into past perfect. For example, they said we have finished the work. It has been changed into they said that they had finished the work. As you can see in this sentence, we have omitted the comma after said. We have also deleted the inverted comma of the direct speech, and we have added that in case of indirect speech. Now, how the tense has been changed? As we have present perfect in direct speech, we have changed it into past perfect tense. Now, what's going to happen if you have past perfect tense? The interesting thing is, if you have past perfect tense in direct speech, the tense is going to be unchanged in indirect speech. For example, he said, I hadn't gone there. What can you see in indirect speech? We can see that he said that he hadn't gone there. That means the past perfect change remains unchanged. Keep that in your mind. If you have past perfect in direct speech within the inverted comma, then don't change the tense. Now, in case of future tense, in case of will, what are you going to do? You are going to change it into would. For example, Kia said, I'll come on Monday. I will come. So, we have the subject, we have will, and then we have the verb, which means that this is in future tense. So here we have changed it into Kia said that she would come on Monday. Only will has been changed into would. Now what's going to happen in case of modal auxiliary verbs? In case of modal auxiliary verbs, we are going to change can into could and may into might. For example, she said, I can go to the party tonight. In this case, what have we done? We have changed can into could. So the answer is, she said that she could go to the party that night. She said that she could go to the party. Could. Since it has been said in past tense, that's why the tense has been changed into past. In the next one, may has been changed into might. As an example, the kids said, we may go to school. The kids said, we may go to school. In this case, what have we done? We have written, the kids said that they might go to the school. So may has been changed into might. I think you have understood the rules of change of tense in case of assertive sentences. I am going through it once again. If you have present indefinite, present continuous, you are going to change it into past indefinite and past continuous. If you have present perfect and present perfect continuous, you are going to change it into past perfect and past perfect continuous. If you have past indefinite, you are going to change it into past perfect. And if you have past perfect tense, it's going to remain unchanged. In case of will, we are going to write would. In case of can, we'll write could. And in case of may, we should write might. Now, let's have a look at the change of pronoun. How is it going to be changed in case of pronoun? So, personal pronoun can be changed according to the formula son. We are going to explain it in detail. Now, let's have a look, what does son mean? Here, first person refers to subject as in S. The O refers to second person object. And the N refers to third person, no change. Maybe you are getting a bit of puzzled looking at this thing. Let's clarify. In case of first person, it's going to be changed according to the subject. So, let's see in detail. If subject of the quoted words is in first person, then it will change according to the subject of the reported verb. For example, he said to her, I like coffee. How it has been changed? We have written, he told her that he liked coffee. So, dear students, if you have said to, then change it into told. As you can see in here we have I, that means the first person. So, according to the formula, how we are going to change it? Since it is first person, we are going to change it according to the subject. So, who was talking about? Who was the speaker? The speaker was he. For that reason, we have used he in place of the pronoun I. Let's look at the second one. According to the rule of son, the second person is going to be changed according to the object. If subject of the quoted verse is in second person, then it will change according to the object of the reporting verb. And how is it going to happen? He said to her, you look happy. He said to her, you look happy. Now, how we have changed it? Let's see. We have written, he told her that she looked happy. So, as you can see, the pronoun you is in second person. For that reason, according to the formula, we have changed it according to the object. What was the object? Object was her. For that reason, we have used she in this case. Now, what's the third rule? The third rule is, if the subject of the quoted verse is in third person, then there will be no change. So, in case of he, she, it, or any other singular noun, we are not going to change it. So, he said to him, she has already left. As you can see, she, it's third person singular number. For that reason, I haven't changed it. I have written, he told him that she had already left. So dear students, make this clear in your head that if you have first person, you are going to change it according to the subject. If you have second person, you are going to change it according to the object. If you have third person, you are not going to change it. So here's it in a brief. As I have written, I has been changed into he or she, me has been changed into him or her, my has been changed into his or her, we can be changed into they, us can be changed into them, and our can be changed into their in case of third person. Now let's see some direct examples of changing speech from direct to indirect. In the first one we have seen, Anil said to Meena, your parents are waiting for you. As you can see in here, we have are waiting, that means present continuous tense. How we are going to change it? We have written, Anil told Meena that her parents were waiting for her. So we were talking about Meena's parents. Meena is a girl. For that reason, we have written her here. Now the second one, Anil said to Yogi, your parents are waiting for you. Now the same sentence has been written by changing the object. Here, Yogi is a boy. For that reason, we have written, Anil told Yogi that his parents were waiting for him. And in the third one, Anil said to them, your parents are waiting for you. In this case, since the object is them, for that reason we have written, Anil told them that their parents were waiting for them, since it is in plural noun. Now let's look at this one. I said to him, he should be trusted. In case of should, do not change it. As you can see in the example, I told him that he should be trusted. So should has remained unchanged. In the second one, she said she is looking for a job. The answer is, she said that she was looking for a job. It was in present continuous tense, and for that reason we have changed it into past continuous, she was. Now this is rule number 3. If you have adverb of time and place, we are going to change it. How is it going to be changed? Let's look at this one. If you have today in direct speech, you are going to write that day in indirect speech. If you have these, we are going to write those. If you have now, we should write then. In case of here, there will be changed. In case of tomorrow, we are going to write the following or the next day. And lastly, if you have yesterday, you should write the previous day or the day before. So dear students, look at these expressions very closely. If you have today, this, now, here, tomorrow or yesterday, it's going to be changed according to the structure. So if you have last year, how you are going to change it? If you have last year in direct speech, you are going to write the year before, or you can write the previous year. If you have tonight, then it will be changed into that night. And in case of this, we are going to write that. If you have thus in direct speech, then you are going to change it into so. I think you have understood the rules well. Now let's see how is it going to be changed in case of direct speech and indirect speech. For example, the first one we can see, he said, I shall discuss this matter next week. So the time expression next week is going to be changed. How? He said that he would discuss that matter. So this has been changed into that. That matter the following week. So next week has been changed into following week here, and this has been changed into that. Also we can see that there is a change of tense as well. In the second one, she said, we shifted to this house 2 weeks ago. So here ago has been changed into before. The answer is, she said that they had shifted to that house 2 weeks before. As you can see, the expressions of 2 weeks ago has been changed into 2 weeks before, and this has been changed into that. Dear students, now it is time for homework. As you can see, I have given you 6 questions, and what you are going to do, you are going to change it from direct to indirect speech according to the rules I have taught you today. The first one is, he said, I take English classes at Holy Cross College. You are going to change it with the starting, he said that. Number 2, he said, I'm practicing how to write a formal paragraph. Number 3, he said, I have already written this paragraph 4 times. Number 4, he said, I really wanted to drop my English class. Number 5, he said, I had made too many mistakes to continue. Number 6, he said, I'm not going to give up yet. Number 7, he said, I have to get a scholarship for college. Number 8, he said, I must support myself after college graduation. Number 9, he said, I cannot continue to depend on my parents. And lastly, number 10, he said, I might go to work full-time and go to school part-time. So write the questions in your HW script and do not forget to do the homework. Dear students, do the homework, submit it to your respective teacher after the school reopens. The teacher's evaluation will be added to your continuous assessment. Stay safe, stay home. Thank you.